I believe
in Scoops. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Kick It to Scoops. I'm your host, Cooper, the sole admin of AFL information, trade rumors, and results. And see, today, this was going to be a show of excitement. My Saints ending their season on a high note. 5 of their last 7 games were victories, beating the likes of Sydney, Geelong, and Carlton, who are playing finals, beating sides throughout the year like Essendon and Gold Coast, who just missed out on the 8, Collingwood as well. 6 games we've lost by 10 points or less, and we're probably robbed in at least 3 of those, the Geelong game, the 2 Port Adelaide games. So, so that was that. I've been pretty happy with the year. My man Mateus back in good form again yesterday. It's great to see. One of my other favourite players, Jack Higgins, Higo, this is the reason I say, Higo, this one's for you. Every time I do the snap on the left flank in every single goal kicking challenge, I will always say, Higo, this one's for you. And I always kick him probably 99 times out of 100. And Jack Higgins kicked the best goal of 2024 in terms of moment, occasion. The celebration was awesome. He was running, doing like a run around, and the players are chasing him. Zach Jones, you can see it trying to chase him down. It was so bloody good. And you know what? This might be the only positivity of the show, because this is going to be the most explosive show of all time. But before I get very angry, let's show the ending that I got on camera. Great footage. I am so happy to capture Jack Higgins' greatest 2 goals in his career. The goal of the year at the MCG against the Pies. It was not out of bounds. It was in the play, hence why it's a goal, and it should be goal in. If it's not, that's more robbery, just like this All-Australian team, which I'm going to go through soon. But yeah, not my All-Australian team. My one's good, which I will be revealing on the show. But Jack Higgins, this goal, you must see it to believe it. The Saints beat the Blues. Here we go. Go Burns. I have a bright smile on my face every time I watch that. It's just awesome, Higo knows who I am, and it's just so cool to see someone at that level know who you are and appreciate you. And yeah, it's just to see that it's great to see. Higo's had his fair share of haters online for a long time, and it's not warranted. It's not. I mean, people are talking about how he does all these snaps when he should be taking drop punt kicks. But quite frankly, now I know this was in a pack and in play, so it's different. He's better doing that than having set shots. Sometimes that's just how it goes. Hey, I know it as well. Every time I have a shot from the left flank from a set shot, I do the snap around the body just like he did in that moment, but from a set shot, and he does it too a lot of the time. It's because we're the masters at that type of goals. Or those type of goals. So happy it was Higo. If it wasn't Mateus, I'm glad it was Higo. It was great to see Mateus. Hopefully can do that too, another game coming up next year. But look, overall, I'm really happy for our year. And it was just a great way to send off the season. Obviously, there'll be some more trade wrap videos and draft content, obviously, as I've already been doing throughout the upcoming months as well. Don't forget that. Check out all the posts on Instagram and Facebook. I'm just so excited after that win yesterday. I just want the season to keep on going. 5 of the last 7 wins. But yeah, I had a bright smile on my face when we beat Carlton. And those Carlton fans, poor boy, oh boy, well, where you want to cop a roasting on Scoops Goes Bang. This show was going to be bloody explosive. Now, you thought, I don't just say it's going to be the most explosive episode ever or the most explosive Scoops Goes Bang ever just for the sake of saying it. See, I'm not one of those people that just says it for clicks and views. I generally mean it. And when I tell you, you don't want to miss any more seconds worth of this episode, you won't be disappointed. You'll want to see every single minute from the start to the end. Let's go. And start off with this. You want me on Cameo? Head to cameo.com/CooperG. You want me to roast a friend? Wish on a happy birthday? Anything at all. Cameo.com/CooperG. If you know any AFL, AFLW players, any up-and-coming draftees, or any state league players like VFLW, Waffle W, Sandford W, VFL Waffle or Sandford, and you would love to send me on the podcast, the Gold King Challenge, or an interview, please do send me a message and we'll try and get something sorted. If you haven't checked out my match day vlog from yesterday, probably the best vlog I've ever done, at least for the ending of a game. It was a great win, as I said. It's probably up there with the Geelong one the week prior, to be honest. I had more satisfaction in the Geelong game winning that one because Geelong's the most protected club in the comp. I hate Geelong the most. And, I mean, if you're not a Geelong fan, no one likes Geelong. That's not an insult. That's just a fact of life. Yeah. And Geelong have the biggest sook fans in the competition. Let me repeat that. Geelong have the biggest bunch of sooks in the AFL fan base. But, look, that's what I'll say. But yeah, I'm going to go through my All-Australian team. I'm going to go through the rigged AFL All-Australian team. Oh boy. Oh, boy. Well, the AFL, mate. If they couldn't do much worse than this year, they've somehow found a way to make me more mad with this competition. The competition is a joke right now. The umpiring is a joke. The AFL's rules and all this crap are a joke. They don't know how to run their own competition. People were so angry when Gill went out. I was so happy when Gill left. I was not, because I knew Andrew Dillon and Laura Kane wouldn't do good, and they haven't done good. They've ruined the game pretty much to a point where people have had enough and don't want to watch it anymore. I'm not saying that's me, but I know a lot of people that don't want to watch it anymore because it's rigged. It simply is rigged, and they don't know how to run the competition at all. Bring back Gillan McLaughlin. I know he's got a CEO job somewhere else, but bring back Gill. Now, all right, enough of all that. We're going to go through my Supercoach talk. Actually, no, I was going to briefly mention it. I scored 2,383. No Dan Houston. Heaney was a laid out. Had no trades this week. Had one player short. Played 3 rookies, Sexton, Dowling, and Manor. So, it is what it is. Top 27% for the season. Let's see. Who am I going to be congratulating for winning the Scoops Fan Club Supercoach League? Also, I want to add too, I will not be previewing the week 1 of the finals. I'll be doing that next week when the show's on. The return of the AFLW show will also be tomorrow. So, Riley. Congratulations to Riley, who Markov that year has won the Scoops fan group for 2024. Well done to Riley. Well done, mate. For some reason, it's not letting me scroll down for some reason. That's weird. I don't know why that's the case. But there you go. The app wants to be a pain in the ass. So, Riley, Markov the year. Congratulations, mate. Well done from me, and congratulations from everyone else, I'm sure. I'm sure Graz and Rolls Macca and Zach and Shano were around the mark. But congratulations to you all. All right. Now, also, I'm just going to quickly go through what the fixture is. So, Thursday night game will be Port Adelaide and Geelong. This is next week. Port Adelaide, Geelong, double chance qualifying final at Adelaide Oval. Friday night will be the Bulldogs and Hawthorn in the MCG Friday night. Saturday, I think it's 3:20 off the top of my head. It's GWS and Sydney, or Sydney GWS at the SCG. And then Saturday night will be the other game, which is Brisbane and Carlton, which at the Gab. The final series appearance, again, 7,000 plus days since you won a final. And you topped it all off by being even more stupid in ruining the career of Dyson Heppel at the end of his career. So, you just ruined it for him. You really, really did. Great to see his brother surprise him. His family was down. You want to hope that Essendon paid for all that. Bet you they didn't. And if they did, they still stuffed about his career. He should have played last week against Sydney. In fact, he should never have been dropped. Last time I bring this up on the podcast, but congratulations to Dyson Congratulations to Dyson Heppel on a wonderful career at Essendon. It's a shame because I've shown more respect to Dyson Heppel in 3 weeks than his club's shown in the last 3 weeks. And that's quite embarrassing, to say the least. I'm no big Essendon fan, but I'll appreciate good players when there are good players. And if he was treated poorly, I will tell you he was treated poorly, and he was. But really good for him to end his career on a high note. But yeah, Brad Scott and Essendon just still should be ashamed of yourselves. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. Now, okay, so, all right, let's go through the next 2 topics, because these 2 are going to be the most explosive topics of the night. All right, so the next one. Carlton fans, you should be embarrassed of your performance yesterday. Not even talking about the players here. I'm talking about the fans. Like, my God, I know every club's got a bunch of Sook supporters. They're all biased. I mean, everyone's biased in their own right when you think about it in some way. Some may have more levels of bias than others, but everyone's got bias in them. You know, even you listening right now, and myself, we all have bias to some degree, okay? Some levels higher than some. But yeah, I'm telling you right now that Geelong fans, up until Sunday, had the worst supporter base in the competition. You know, I had a few friends keep telling me, nah, Scoops, it's Carlton, it's Carlton. I'll be like, nah, mate, it's not. They're idiots, but it's not Carlton. And wow, did they prove me wrong? They were embarrassing yesterday. You know, it's all well and good to appeal for ball every decision. But, like, you know, people just say it for the sake of saying ball, like holding the ball, right? But no. These Carlton fans are crying every decision. I mean, they're whinging about the free kick count at halftime was like 12-3. Like, see, here's the problem, Carlton fans. You do understand you need a rule book. Get your rule book out and look at the freaking rules and read it properly. You can't fend someone off, then drop the ball and be tackled, and then cry when it's given hold on the ball. You took the prior by trying to fend someone off. And plus, you probably had prior already before the fend off anyway. And regardless, the fend off is your prior opportunity. Read the bloody rulebook, you hacks. The Carlton fan base are quite laughable. Now, that idiot that threw the bottle at the goal umpire does deserve a lifetime ban. And to be fair, it's a bit disrespectful to the Carlton cheer squad to have that guy labelled as one of them, because apparently, according to their Carlton cheer squad Insta page, they said he is not even associated with them, so he's just some random idiot. So it'd be a bit disrespectful to say that it's a Carlton cheer squad that did that. But the Carlton fan base as a whole, nothing to do with that idiot throwing the bottle who should cop a lifetime ban. But away from that, their fan base are the worst in the comp. You know why their fan base is worse than Geelong's? Because Carlton have double the fans that Geelong have. That's probably why I always said Geelong, because, you know, we just hear them whinge online. Because they don't turn up to games in Melbourne, because apparently it's too far. Just go ask Ollie Henry. He was crying that he wanted to go home when the Holden Centre, AIA Centre at Collingwood, is 45 minutes away from Geelong to an hour. Like, gee, I do that every week. Like, seriously. The travel component, don't give me the crap. Don't mention bus replacements. Don't mention everything. I'm at the same distance as the Geelong players and fans. So, seriously, be loyal. Your team's playing finals and you still don't turn up. Okay, now, I'm getting off topic. Geelong fans always sook. You know, Chris Scott is the biggest sook in the competition when it comes to coaches, okay? When Geelong loses, it's always about the umpiring. It's always about the surface. It's always about the academies. It's always some excuse of Chris Scott and Brad Scott, mind you. Brad, you also made the rules, and you're whinging about the rules that you put in place. I see where the Scots get the sooking from. They both sook. But Geelong as a whole, the AFL club, are the biggest sooks in the competition. But boy, oh boy, wow, I never thought I'd be saying this, but Geelong have been beaten for being the biggest sooks in the competition. They are probably still the biggest sooks of the competition in general, but in one individual game, this Carlton crowd that was there on the weekend was the worst individual fan base in one game I have ever seen. The amount of booing for no reason, might I add, whinging, everything was holding the ball. They would turn the ball over and they're booing. The ball goes out of bounds, they're booing. Every quarter time break, they're booing. And then it's funny. We're not getting handed free kick after free kick in the last quarter for no damn reason, might I add. We're getting screwed by the umpires in the last quarter heavily. And they were still booing. Like, gee, you can't be happy, can you? And then when we get 1 free out of bloody 10, say, they're booing. And when the free is there too. Like, grow up, Carlton fans. You're acting like, actually, it's fully disrespectful to say they're acting like a bunch of children, because even children be more mature than those idiots who were in the crowd yesterday carrying on. Like, far out, it was embarrassing. This so many people that said so many stupid things that are quite laughable, to be honest. And if you were there, if you were a Carlton fan and you weren't somehow one of those idiots, you'd be embarrassed of your fan base for how they were acting. It's quite laughable. And, you know, there were so many comments I had to laugh, right? And there was one comment, and I don't like saying nothing, but I said one thing, and the one thing I did say to one Carlton fan, it's in my vlog so you can see it. I'm pretty sure it's in it. I said, you know, they had a basic turnover, like, I don't know, let's just say it was Corey Durden. He had to kick it in the middle to Sam Walsh, say basic 30-meter little kick. And it's just, he kicks it straight to the Saints player, Jack Sinclair. I'll be like, oh, bet you want a free kick for that one too. That's the umpire's fault he turned it over. Like, that's how they were acting. So I thought I'd give them one back, and they had no comment. Quite funny. The Carlton fan base should be embarrassing themselves. You know, it's quite laughable, really. I mean, it would take me a lot to even say this, that Geelong don't have the biggest sooks in the competition when it comes to the fan base, because they are overall. But in one individual game, I can't believe I found a club that has passed Geelong in one individual game as the biggest sooks in the competition. Dare I say it? They are a bunch of Cody crybabies, the Carlton fan base. And the amount of saltiness when Jack Higgins got that goal. Here you go. Got it. This one's for you. Here you go. The Carlton fans were crying and blaming the umpires as per usual. Do Carlton fans also forget that they've literally only made finals because of umpiring decisions going their way? Let's think about Gather Round, right? Remember when you played Freo, right, in Adelaide, and James H touched it or whatever, and they gave it a goal, and Freo got screwed multiple times in that last quarter? Do you remember that? Do you remember that, Carlton fans? Do you remember that? Because I do, and anyone with a brain does, that Freo got screwed. Now, Freo also only just missed the 8 due to 4 points. And if they had won that game due to match fixing, pretty much, they won that game, they're in the 8. And don't get me all the points will be even, because no. Carlton wouldn't have those 4 points. Freo would have it. It's like an 8-point game. So Freo would be in the 8, and Carlton would not be in the 8. Fremantle were robbed due to match fixing in that game, and they were screwed to finals. Lift your game, AFL. You're a joke, and Carlton fan base, you're a joke as well. Now, you thought that was big and explosive. Well, I thought it was going to be the biggest Scriptures Bang one of the night. But oh, no. I've unfortunately had to witness the worst All-Australian squad of 40 or 44, whatever, of all time. I just indicated before about the Jared Witts thing being the biggest robbery of all time. Well, now, 4 players have been absolutely screwed of the AFL's rigged 2024 AFL All-Australian team squad. I mean, I'm putting this on the screen, but I want to stress enough, this is not my team, because this team is rubbish. So let's go through the players they have. For everyone listening on Spotify and Apple Podcasts, I will read them out for you. Adelaide and Richmond have no players. Adelaide, you could have had maybe, Mark Keane in the squad, or Darcy Fogarty. Actually, not Darcy Fogarty. Mark Keane could have been in there. Somehow Jordan Dawson normally finds his way in there, but he's not in there. Brisbane have Harris Andrews, Joe Danaher, Lockie Neal, Cam Rayner, Dane Zorko. Cam Rayner in that team is just a freaking joke. Carlton have Paddy Cripps, Charlie Kerner, Harry Mackay, and Jacob Wiedering, whatever. Collingwood have Nick Dacos, fair enough. What? I've just realised this live right now, that Josh Dacos is not even in the All-Australian squad. Oh my God, this squad is rigged. Darcy Cameron, that is going to be the biggest joke of this entire bloody squad. Where the hell is Rowan Marshall? I'm going to get through that in a second. Nick Dacos is in there, fair enough. Zach Merritt's in there, fair enough. Andrew Brayshaw, don't think he was that good for a squad this year. I like Andy Brayshaw, but I don't think he deserves a spot this year. Jordan Clark, Luke Ryan, Caleb Sarong, fair enough. Hayden Young, don't get me started. Geelong, Jeremy Cameron should not be in the final team. Max Holmes, you got to be kidding me. Tyson Stengel, well, it wasn't many small forwards, but he shouldn't make the final team. Noah Anderson, Sam Collins. Where the hell is Sam Flanders? GWS, Brent Daniels, fair enough. Jesse Hogan and Whitfield, fair enough. Where the hell is Tom Green? Hawthorn, Massimo D'Ambrosio, interesting. Dylan Moore, fair enough. James Sicily, the one-time Sicily doesn't deserve a spot. He's actually got a spot in the squad. Unbelievable. He also missed games. Max Gawn in the squad, fine. Sheasel, yep. Cherry for the squad. For Adelaide, Zach Butters, fair enough. Dan Houston, fair enough. Jason Horn-Francis, don't get me started. That's another laughable one. For the Saints, Jack Sinclair. Where the hell is Cal Wilkie and Rowan Marshall? We'll get to all this soon. Sydney, Nick Blakey, Errol Gordon, Isaac Heaney, Chad Warner, no arguments really there. Jeremy McGovern and Jake Waterman, fair enough. For the Bulldogs, Adam Treloar absolutely deserves it. Bailey Dale deserves it. And Marcus Bontempelli, don't get me started, absolutely rigged. The guy could have 15 disposals on average for the season and he'll still get a bloody spot in the team. It's quite laughable. Now, I am going to put that on and off the screen over time. All right. So here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of you people like say to me, "Oh, Scoops, you're just being biased." Well, I've got facts to show you all that back up my arguments here. So, all right, let's start off with this. This is why the episode is also late, because I've been studying these squads and stats and arguments I want to have for having players in over the other. So let's start off with the biggest joke of them all in the players that got in the squad, first of all, before I go through the ones that were robbed. So why is Cam Rayner in this squad? I don't even know what he's even done this year to warrant a spot in the squad. That's just quite laughable. Quite laughable. Why is Darcy Cameron in there? Please tell me why. The All-Australian selectors are a joke. They are an embarrassment. All of them should be relinquished of their duties effective immediately. They shouldn't even be allowed to finish this team. This team should be redone and done properly. I want the real version. This is a rigged version, a biased version. I want the real version. You'll see the real version when I announce mine right after this segment. So this is all still Scoop Shows Bang, by the way. Okay, so Darcy Cameron, okay, I'm going to mention this ruck stuff, okay? So Darcy Cameron averages 15.6 disposals a game and 3.7 clearances. Rubbish, that's to be in the team. So Rowan Marshall averages 20.7 disposals a game. That is 5.1 more disposals per game than Darcy Cameron. He also averages, Rowan Marshall, 5.7 clearances a game. Darcy Cameron averages 3.7. 2 more clearances a game by Marshall. So Marshall owns Darcy Cameron and also beat him individually in a game earlier in the year. So how Darcy Cameron's in this squad is quite laughable. Rowan Marshall, again, I'll repeat this, 20.7 disposals. Max Gawn, 19.1. That's 1.6 more disposals than Gawn. Clearances, 5.7 to Marshall. Gawn, 5. That's 0.7 more to Marshall. Marshall wins. Tristan Cherry averages 17.9 disposals. Marshall, 20.7 disposals. That is 2.8 more disposals to Marshall. Clearances, Cherry actually has 1 more than Marshall. Actually, it's technically 0.3. So Cherry, it's basically even, right? So Rowan Marshall owns Tristan Cherry, Max Gawn, and Darcy Cameron. I mean, if you had if you had Max Gawn, Cherry, and Marshall in the squad, I wouldn't be arguing right now, okay? Because technically we don't know who makes the final team just as of right now. But how you can insult me and Rowan Marshall by naming freaking Darcy bloody Cameron in this team and then not putting Marshall in is laughable. This is the biggest robbery of all time. Jared Ritz got screwed. And I thought forever that would be the biggest robbery of all time. But now that's replaced by the biggest robbery in AFL existence, that Rowan Marshall has been screwed of a 2024 AFL All-Australian squad mention, and obviously now that he's not in the bloody squad, he won't get in the real team. Forget about this AFL piss take version this year. The real version will be mine. You'll see shortly. But let's continue on. So the stats just show that Rowan Marshall is better this season than Gawn, Cherry, and Darcy Cameron. I mean, I could name you other ruckmen before Darcy Cameron with those other three ahead. You could mount a case for Lloyd Meek. You could mount a case for someone else, just not Darcy Cameron. Darcy Cameron was solid this year, but how you think that Rowan Marshall's not in over Darcy Cameron, the AFL selection committee are a joke. All these panels of the AFL trying to one up the other who's got the stupid comment for the year, because it's Laura Kane and Andrew Dillon ruining the game. Then we got the stupid umpires ruining the game, and now we got the All Australian selection panel rigging All Australian selections. What's next? The Brownlow's going to be rigged? I bet you that'll be rigged too, because everything else has been rigged. So why not add another one to the rigged collection? All these awards, and probably the Rising Star will be rigged too. So all these awards this year should be scrapped from the record book and not count, because we want the real version, and I'll give you the real version shortly. So Rowan Marshall's clearly the best ruckman this year. I don't care what anyone says. If you want to have a second ruckman on the bench, like have Cherry, I'm not going to debate that, but I will debate that Marshall has clearly been the best ruckman of those four, which includes himself. So he's been the best this year. You'll see my team shortly, and you'll know where I've gone. Have I gone 2 rucks? You'll have to wait and see. Okay, so the other robbery is Callum Wilkie. Now, Cal has had a terrific year, averaging 17.5 disposals a game, averaging 5.5 spoils a game, 3 intercept marks a game. He's just been reliable. You know, Cal plays on the talls, he plays on the smalls, he plays on the medium-sized plays, he plays on guys like Charlie Cameron, Charlie Curnow, guys like that. Cal's had a terrific year, along with Josh Battle, and if we hadn't had Cal Wilkie and Josh Battle in this team this year in the defence, we may be screwed in the tall department at least. So damn reliable. Josh Battle, you can mount a case to be in the team too. You'll have to wait and find out if he is in mine. But Cal Wilkie, I'm telling you right now, Cal Wilkie's in mine, and I don't care what anyone says. He has been the best defender this year in those positions. Ever reliable, as I just said. He can play on talls, smalls, medium size. He's a great leader. He's never missed a game. I can't recall a bad Cal Wilkie game where I can recall a bad game for everyone else in this bloody squad that plays in that position, especially the ones that are named in this season alone. Terrific year from Cal. He's just robbed. I don't care. He's averaged, as I said, what I just read out. And by the way, he's got the 4th most intercepts for the competition, just behind Nick Vlauston, Ben Mackay, and Sam Collins. Then in the other stats, in the 1%ers, Cal Wilkie's in there as well. In 8th place, not that far. He's only literally a couple of 1%ers behind 5th. So, you know, basically 2 top 5 finishes for Cal. So, you know, how that doesn't warrant a spot in the squad at least is beyond laughable. It just shows the AFL selection committee, All Australian selection committee, are biased. Quite laughable and a joke. Ridiculous. Right. Now, the other 2 that were robbed, I actually did not realise until literally reading this out for the 50th time that Josh Dacos didn't get in the squad. I didn't even need to pull up his numbers. I can't speak tonight. Apologies. Josh Dacos has been robbed. I'm surprised he's not been in here, because normally players like him get gifted a spot in the team even when they don't deserve it. But how's he not even got in the squad? That's quite laughable, especially when they somehow put Darcy Cameron in, yet Josh Dacos doesn't get in. I mean, this squad is rigged. I don't know. I'll probably be saying this 70 times tonight, but the squad is rigged. I don't know who made this team up. Did they roll names out of a hat? Roll names out of a hat. Did they grab names out of a hat or something, and that's what came out of the hat? It's just, yeah, I'm disgusted in this squad. Quite laughable, really, if I'm being brutally honest. And then, yeah, so that's that. You know, so, yeah. All right. Now, the other 2, Sam Flanders and Tom Green. Now, where the hell is Sam Flanders? He played through the midfield. He played off halfback for the most of the first for the year. He's played midfield ever since, and he's been robbed. You know, Sam Flanders is averaging the 5th most disposals in the competition this. Sorry, he's got the 5th most disposals in the competition this year. He's averaging. Make sure I have the right stats up here. He's averaging 30.9 disposals this year, 5.5 marks. He's elite in a lot of his categories. His efficiency is always in the 80s most weeks, if not higher. So how he doesn't get a spot in the squad? We're talking about the squad right now. If he didn't get in the All-Australian team, I'd be pissed. But he's not even in this squad. So you know how rigged it is. Anyone averaging over 30 disposals is at a lock, pretty much, for the All-Australian team squad. So, I mean, you know, this is more biased. The AFL are Victorian biased. So Sam Flanders is a Gold Coast player. So it is rigged. And Tom Green, another interstate player, a Giants player, GWS, 705 disposals this year, which is the 2nd most this year, equal with Nick Dacos and 6 behind Lockie Whitfield. Tom Green has been robbed of All-Australian. I am disgusted in this rigged All-Australian squad. Tom Green is averaging 30.7 disposals a game, 6 clearances a game, over 4 tackles a game. His efficiency is done well. He's got a lot of clearances in games. Tom Green has been robbed. Let me put that god-awful All-Australian squad up one more time. And yeah, absolutely rigged. Now, I've gone through the names that shouldn't be in there. How James Sicily is in there is quite laughable. And Jason Horne-Francis. Like, seriously, Tom Green and Sam Flanders are miles ahead of those two by the length of the Flemington Strait. James Sicily has had good years where he's been screwed. This year he has had an average year, been injured, and somehow got in the team. Explain that one to me. And explain how he is ahead of Cal Wilkie. Absolute bullshit. Rigged. Andrew Brayshaw had a terrific career so far in his young career. This year hasn't been that good. And somehow now he's in this squad over Nick Dacos. Not Nick Dacos, Josh Dacos. And over Tom Green and Sam Flanders. This squad is a joke. It is robbed. And they are robbed. And this is rigged. I'm going to repeat this one more time. Oh, by the way, Jack Sinclair bloody deserves his spot and better make the final team, or I'm going to be pissed. I'm going to tell you this all right now. You ready for this? Rowan Marshall, Cal Wilkie, Tom Green, and Sam Flanders have been robbed of an All-Australian squad spot, and really they should all be in the final team because they'll all be in my final team of the 2024 AFL All-Australian squad. Rowan Marshall, Callum Wilkie, Tom Green, and Sam Flanders have been robbed right in front of me. Rigged, biased, crap. Ridiculous. Hope you guys and girls enjoyed that very long edition of the world famous segment Scoops Goes Bang, and Scoops didn't miss with firing shots at those awful selectors. Disgraceful. Now, I'm changing the order up a little bit. So now, let's now go through the real Scoops 2024 AFL All-Australian team. The real one. So let's go. Scoops 2024 AFL All-Australian team reveal. Alrighty, let's get this ready. Alrighty. So All right, thank you. So now, thank you. It's now time to reveal the Scoops 2024 AFL All-Australian team. From the back line, the pockets, Callum Wilkie and Harry Sheasel. Full back, Sam Collins. Half back line, the flankers, Jack Sinclair and Lockie Whitfield. Centre half back, Jeremy McGovern. Wingers, Josh Dacos and Hugh McCluggage. Centreman, Nick Dacos. Half forward line, the flankers, Jake Waterman and Zach Butters. Centre half forward, Jesse Hogan. Forward pockets, Dylan Moore and Charlie Curnow. Full forward, Joe Danaher. Ruckman, Rowan Marshall. Rovers, Tom Green and Adam Trelaw. Interchange, Caleb Sarong, Sam Flanders, Dane Zorko, and Jordan Clark. Now, let's get that banner off and let's put that All-Australian team on the screen. There we go. Look at the banner. Look at that background. That was at Marvel, at a packed crowd. It was the Saints game. You can see the scores in the top left-hand corner. Now, you want to know my reasons. Now, I'm going to make this abundantly clear to you all that the next choice players were in the back line was Josh Battle and Bailey Dale. And the next midfielder was probably going to be Zach Merritt. So just for context. Now, I've gone with two traditional wingers in Josh Dacos and Hugh McCluggage. Both had terrific seasons. Jack Sinclair played through the half-back line and through the midfield. And Lockie Whitfield played through half-back and the wing. Then Sheasel played up forward through the midfield and at the back line, in the back line. So, yeah, I did that. So I've gone two key defenders in Sam Collins and Jeremy McGovern, and Cal Wilkie as a utility. They can play on tall, smalls, and medium-sized players. Sinclair, Sheasel, and Whitfield being your runners. Dacos and McCluggage on your wingers, and Whitfield and Sinclair and Sheasel can push up there if need be. Forward line, I've gone some talls. I've gone Hogan, Danaher, Waterman, and Curnow. Jake Waterman was always getting in my team, so was Jesse Hogan. Joe Danaher, an underrated season, had a kick straight. Had a lot of disposals where we had high efficiency. High disposal, like 20 disposal games. Rowan Marshall, no, don't get me started, was clearly the best ruckman this year. Having gone to ruckman, I went with an extra half-backman in Dane Zorko, who can also play through multiple positions, so can Jordan Clark. So I've gone for versatility in this team. Very important, we needed runners. So we've got Sinclair, got the Dacos brothers, we've got McCluggage, we've got Whitfield, got Sheasel, and you've got Jordan Clark and Zorko that can run off half-back and through the wings and even push it in the midfield or even up forward and have the ability to score goals. Dylan Moore was the only small forward I went with, and I put Zach Butters on the half-forward line because he did deserve a spot in the starting team, and he is the one of the midfielders that would kick the most goals. So that's why Zach Butters is there. I'm really happy with this team. Dylan Moore, to be honest, was close to not even making my team. Then I thought, well, who the hell am I going to have in this spot? Then would it be another tall? Would it just be a midfielder? So I thought we got to have a small forward there who can push through the midfield as well. So really, like I said, team of versatility this is. So yeah, that's what I've gone with. So let me know down below what you would have done. I'm really happy with this team, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with it. So let me know down below what you would have changed. Alrighty. Now it's time to go through my Scoops round 24 AFL Team of the Week. From the back line, the pockets, Daniel Rioli and Nick Newman. Full back, Sam Taylor. Back line, the retiring great Dyson Heppel. See, more appreciation for Dyson Heppel. Other half back line, Matt Roberts. Centre half back, Nick Blakey. Wingers, Lockie Whitfield and Josh Dacos. Centerman, Nick Dacos. Half forward line, the flankers, Kai Lohman and Riley Thilthorpe. Centre half forward, Jeremy Cameron. Forward line, the pockets, Jack Higgins. Here you go. And Ollie Henry. Full forward, Logan McDonald. Oh, I actually haven't named a Ruckman. Oh, boy. Or have I? I was trolling you. Ruckman, Rowan Marshall. The Rovers. The Rovers. We have. For the Rovers, we have Lockie Neal and Tom Green. Interchange, Jai Newcomb, Zach Merritt, Massimo D'Ambrosio, Pat Lipinski, and all aboard the Filippo train, Matthias Filippo. The emergencies, none other than Jack Sinclair, Sam Flanders, Bailey Dale, and Andrew McGrath. Reasons? I'm not giving you any reasons. I don't need to explain myself. You know, I was really happy with the names I had. Yeah, so that's what I've gone with. Leave it down below what you Yeah, now let me get the banner up for that. I apologise. I actually forgot to write Rowan Marshall's name in there, or did I? You'll see right now. So there's my team. There you go. So that's what I did. Now, what I did notice... Oh my God, what's with this? Wow, hang on a second. I apologise in advance. I don't know what this app is using these days. I'm writing the names of the players, and then it just spells it wrong. There you go, Rowan Marshall right there in the midfield there. So that's what I've done as the Ruckman. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Pat Lipinski kicked 2 goals and 30 disposals. I thought it was really good. Mateus kicked 1-1 with 20-odd disposals. It was really impactful up forward. I like him up forward. Now, I did have a spelling error for Hugh McCluggage. Again, the stupid app. I only realised it while I was reading it out. So there's the updated version. So if you're going to save it, there's the updated version in terms of the spelling and whatnot. So, yeah, there you go. So let me know your thoughts on my All-Australian team and team of the week down below. Some just quick trade news. Josh Battle will most likely be gone. Something I would add to Scoops is bang. Why the hell was he not allowed to have his kid go through the banner? The AFL rejected it. That just shows another example of what the AFL are like. They're a joke of an organisation. What's so wrong about Josh going to have his kids? Yeah, it's not a milestone game, but who gives a shit? He's allowed to bring his kid out for the banner if he wants to. They have mascots come out all the time where they have junior players run out with Steele or Hill or someone. Doesn't matter. Like, Membry might have someone, like they might have a junior fan or member be with Membry or with Butler, whatever. So why can't Josh Battle be out with his kid? It's quite laughable, really. Pathetic AFL. Another example of the AFL, why they are a joke organisation. But yeah, so that's that. Enough talking about the AFL. I've had enough of them. But yeah. So let me know your thoughts on my team of the week, All-Australian team, down below, and Screw's Bang as well, and that All-Australian squad in general. So I've done my Supercoach talk, so let's now go review the round 24 games. Also a reminder, check out my matchday vlog if you haven't already, would greatly appreciate it. If you know any AFL, AFLW players, any up-and-coming draftees, and you love someone on the podcast and the Golden Challenge or an interview, they can be AFL, AFLW, State League, or up-and-coming draftees. So those state leagues include VFLW, Waffle W, Sample W, VFLW, VFL Waffle or Sample, up-and-coming draftee, or AFL or AFLW players. So we'd greatly appreciate it if you know anyone from those leagues, AFL, AFLW, state leagues, and draftees. We'd greatly appreciate it. We'd love to have anyone on. Now, also, to the AFLW show, we'll be returning tomorrow night, Tuesday night. So look forward to that. Like my season predictions for the AFLW season, Brownlow medal, Scoops medal predictions, or AFLW Brownlow, Rising Star predictions, ladder predictions, the whole lot, and reviewing the round 1 games, of course, etc. And maybe some surprises in there as well. Maybe a new intro, maybe not. You'll have to wait and see. So let's go review the round 24 games. Really, to be honest, the Sunday games were all that mattered, really. So I'm not even going to go into much detail with them. Melbourne, Collingwood won by 46, not good enough from Melbourne, just completely unacceptable. Hawthorn 170 to North Melbourne 46. North Melbourne should fold, and so should West Coast. I mean, that's tongue in cheek, but they're playing like an embarrassment. That's not good for Jared Schofield. That's not good for Alistair Clarkson, hanging into contract talks or potential contract talks for Schofield. They probably won't get extensions, and Schofield may not get the job because of that game alone. They did win the second half, West Coast, but North Melbourne, they were a joke. It rained for pretty much the whole game, and in that last quarter, it definitely did. So just shows what an embarrassment North Melbourne are. Hawthorn aren't that good to that level. North are just a joke. And West Coast are a joke as well, being down to Geelong by 100 points after the Saints just beat them by 5 goals the week prior, basically. Completely unacceptable from them. I don't care how young they are. That is just completely unacceptable. The Twilight game, which was 320 game, 66 to 94. Gold Coast over Richmond. Congratulations to Dustin Martin, Dylan Grimes on their careers. Great tribute with Jack Rewalt after the game with the 3 retired players. Well done to Dustin Martin and Dylan Grimes in particular on their careers. Very, very good careers. Dylan Grimes, an underrated defender. And I must say that Nathan Broad and Nick Vlaston, if they didn't have those two, they'd be screwed right now, Richmond. They're going to lose Dan Rioli in the trade period. Shai Bolton, most likely too, which I can't fathom that they'll allow Rioli to go. Not Rioli. Rioli and Bolton. I don't care about all these first-round draft picks they may or may not get. They're going to be screwed and irrelevant for the next 5+ years like West Coast if they get rid of Tom Barrass. And the weekend proved that West Coast, like I said for weeks and months, that West Coast should not trade Tom Barrass under any circumstances. Do I make myself abundantly clear to you, list management at West Coast? Don't be stupid. And Hawthorn, pay up money. If you want Josh Battle, it better be a band 1 compensation pick. Otherwise, you're going to trade for him, and you only got pick 12. And West will want that for Barrass. We will want that for Battle. So pay up. Pay an extra $50K if the reports are true. Then you get him for free from a trade point of view. It's only money. $50K is nothing for you. Then you can trade 12 for Barrass. You get both. You're happy. We're happy. West Coast will be happy somehow, even though they're idiots for doing that. Everyone wins. Don't be complicated. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself not getting one of the players. So you're going to embarrass yourself. So there you go. All right, that's if you don't do the band compo thing. Now, the next game, Gold Coast did okay, but Richmond, to their credit, fought it in to the end. And to be honest, it was a great send-off that Richmond did for Dustin Martin and Dylan Grimes. Shame Essendon couldn't do that for Dyson Heppel, right? Yeah, pathetic Essendon. You should be embarrassed. Speaking of embarrassing, they lost to Brisbane by 20 points. It's not embarrassing losing to Brisbane, but they were useless for 3 quarters. They decided to turn up in the last quarter. And to the credit of Dyson Heppel and Zach Merritt and players like Jai Caldwell and Sam Durham, they tried. Cole Langford. Did the rest even bother turning up? Today, Essendon delisted Nick Hine, which is the biggest joke of them all, that they've delisted him. A guy who was screwed and not getting games lately. He was super good when he was the sub. Made an impact. He can run, play off half back, play off half forward, played on the wing, dashing through the middle. I thought he had a really good year, Nick Hine, and he's been delisted. What a joke. Tex Wanganeen's been delisted, as has Kane Baldwin, and Collingwood delisted Aiden Begg today, who's apparently injured again, unfortunately. So, yeah, that's what's happened with the delistings today that I've seen. Now, where was I? The night games, the other night games, Sydney 121, Adelaide 90s. They arrested Isaac Keane. He's managed to play in the first final against the Giants, no doubt. No doubt about it. The Crows, even at quarter time, basically like 7 points down, then given 6 goals to 1, and your 1 goal was on the siren of Jordan Dawson, the ex-Swan. Completely unacceptable. In that quarter, lost you the game. You lost by 30-odd points. That quarter lost it for you in the second quarter. And the Swans just kept and maintained that margin. Now, the Eagles actually beat Geelong, by the way, 7 points in the second half. Yet they were down by 100 at quarter time. At a half, not 100. Yeah, they were down by 100 at halftime, not quarter time, but unbelievable to think that you're down by 100 at halftime and then you win the second half by 7 points, but you still lose by 93. Unbelievable. Jeremy Cameron kicked 9. I must say that before someone sooks, but I've mentioned that in my team of the week earlier that he had kicked 9. Even if I didn't, I just said it now. 9 goals, Jeremy Cameron, good on you. You played against Rep Bazzo and Williams, so it doesn't count. But whatever. Or Edwards, sorry, Harry Edwards. And Rep Bazzo, seriously, come on. Cherry becomes way more experienced than them. Sunday games, Bulldogs 98, GWS 61. Ballarat should never host AFL games again. That stadium, I've been there once before. The wind is horrible. Build a roof or don't play there ever again. Plain and simple. And if they're not going to build a roof, that's fine. Don't play there again. Not for AFL games. You want to play practice matches there or preseason games there? Go ahead. Not AFL games. Especially in the back end of the season. Yeah, Giants, unfortunate. The wind was horrible. We've seen Jamara miss a bad goal. We've seen Peatling get an amazing goal. Peatlings has the smarts and joined the Saints. Peatling, who's been linked to the Saints, happy to have you and Matt always join the club. Hopefully a big name mid as well. But yeah, the other game, the Saints. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. Oh, how I want to be with the St Kilda. Oh, when the Saints go marching in. 76-74, what a great win. Said it before. Detailed it all earlier. All aboard the Philippo train was good. Marshall was good. Sinclair was awesome. Higo was good late. Butler played his part. Ryan Burns and Zach Jones, give him great credit. That smother from Zach Jones in the last 4 seconds of the game. He also is the one that dished out the handball to Higgins in that clip you saw that won us the game. So Zach Jones, a goal as well late in the game. Late in the third. Late in the third it was. Running into an open goal was awesome. Zach Jones had a terrific career resurgence in the last 8 weeks. He was probably gone 8 weeks ago. I reckon he's averaged 20 disposals over the last 6 weeks. He deserves a spot. I've always said, and I rate Zach Jones, and he's bloody earned a contract now. And if he doesn't get one, Ross, I'm going to be pissed off. And you will be on Scoops Goes Bang if you do that. And don't delist Tom Campbell. You better not delist him or I'm going to be pissed. If he retires, that's his call. But if you delist him, I'm going to be pissed. Now, great win. And then the last game, Freo, Port. Freo did rob themselves. They screwed themselves over. They got no one to blame that last game but themselves. Dodgy umpiring in the fourth quarter, favouring Port Adelaide. Just a disgrace. For people that said Horn Francis was good, get a grip. Brendan Thatcher is no good. So is Osava Radigalia, Jordan Sweet and Navan Soldo and Lockie Jones. Simply, they don't cut it. They shouldn't be on an AFL list. All 5 of them. Horn Francis, yeah, but not those other guys. So ridiculous. Credit to Port, they played well. In the last quarter, the difference was, besides the stupid umpiring, was they wouldn't pay a free for anyone in the last quarter, but Free should have had a lot, should have gone their way. Port should have had a couple as well. But Port were cleaner. You've seen Butters and co. use the ball and they were clean. Boak and Wines. That was the difference. Free were just clumsy, dropping marks, just stuffing it up. So, besides the dodgy umpiring in the last quarter, they got no one to blame but themselves. But when it comes to the grand scheme of things, Freo were robbed of the finals due to match fixing in the gather round. I said it back then. You can go back and watch an episode. I said Freo were robbed and this will cost them finals, and it did. Scoops gets it right again. The AFL are rigged again. Match fixing is back again. But in this game, they lost it for themselves. Good on your Port. Double chance. Please beat Geelong next week on the Thursday night and give them the old heave-ho like you did Freo. And don't flick the power off. We want the power on at the Adelaide Oval next Thursday night. Up the power. No predictions. I think the Giants will win the granny, by the way. But yeah, we'll wait and see. All right, so that is everything. So my final thoughts are simply this. You want me on Cameo, head to cameo.com/CooperG. Want me to roast a friend, wish someone happy birthday, anything at all, cameo.com/CooperG. The AFLW show, Tuesday night and Wednesday night, the Scoops Medal, the 4th edition of the Scoops Medal. The inaugural winner was Jackson McRae. Then it was Took Miller. Then last year's winner was Jack Sinclair. Who will be the 4th ever winner of the Scoops Medal? Tune in Wednesday night. And oh boy, wowee, it's going to be a big show. You do not want to miss it. Thank you all for watching. And if you know any AFL, AFLW players, any up-and-coming draftees, or any state league players like VFLW, Waffle W, Sample W, VFL Waffle or Sample, and you would love to see them on the podcast in a Gold King Challenge or an interview, please send me a message and we'll try and get something sorted. Thank you very much, and go the Saints, and all aboard the Philippo train. Then, now, forever together. Go Saints!